two memories, Diane, right? We was here.
Caroline.
We're going to adjourn Daniel Olis and Carol Elaine Rosler, the two. Tonight we will have two public hearings, and I'll knock it out there as well. We do have an executive session. What I try to do with the board is, normally on Friday, I try to give you guys something to let you know some type of agenda. A little late this time because there are things still coming in. Just to kind of so you can plan your night and how long you're going to be here and stuff like that so your families know what's going on. We have quite a few resolutions tonight. There's 28 of them, no suspended. So I guess with that, we'll kick off with agenda items. And how's everybody doing with their Chromebook? All set? Good? Perfect. Okay, so the first one is approving the minutes. And the second one is the audit claims. Councilmember Mazur, number
Third
3.
one is the building permits, 35 in the town since we last met, and another 16 in the village. The breakdowns there, I'll keep them up today.
Okay. Number 4 is to accept the streetlights on Hidden Meadows subdivision, phase 1. And number 5 is the authorization to prep new position duties for a rec instructor. And the reason why we're doing that is that they're all part-time people. We've filled every slot over there right now, so we're going to put another one in there. And again, some of these people are working in a couple hours a week for Zumba class, for example, or something like that. So they go through these quite a bit. And most of these positions, really, it's no cost to the town. They do collect fees for the students that attend these classes. So that's what that's for. This is going to be for police chief, approved memorandum of understanding for special weapons and tactics training, number 6. And number 7 is there was a vehicle incident with the police vehicle, so that's number 7 to amend the budget. Number 8, we're hiring a youth bureau tutor. We seem to go through those quite often. Number 9 is to authorize the attendance of 2 town justice department members to attend training. Number 10 is appointing youth board members.
Any question on that?
Yes.
How are they selected? Do they put in a letter or something to the youth bureau?
Yeah, there's a committee and that. And that really, Bob, this should have been part of the reorganization. They missed it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it should have been done back in January. But it does expire at the end of the year, just like all the other appointments. And number 11, appoint drug abuse prevent council members. Same thing there. Number 12, we're going to award bids for a couple of trucks in our Parks Department, as well as 13. 14 is the van for dog control has kind of lived its life. So we're going to auction that off as surplus property. Michelle, thank you for all the quotes on the pools. We are replacing some of our salt cells and things of that nature. There's other work to be done. And we did select out of 5 or 4 quotes came in out of 6 actually.
Right, we canvassed 6.
Yeah,
we
and
have
4 came in, and we did Michelle did select the lowest one for to do the work. We have a lifeguard appointment at number 16. We have the youth agreement for 2020, number 17. And Councilmember Mazur, the next 3, please.
We're going to be awarding bids for the truck for the highway department in 18 and 19. For those two, both that we put on the previous, or the meeting of the 3rd, I believe, that was one of those went out, February 3rd. So we got the bids in for those. The 20th is requesting bids for some new vehicles for the highway department also. Hey, do you have anything to add to those two?
Yeah, the money's coming out of the budget. The money's in our budget line.
Okay. So 20 and 21, that would be.
Okay. Number 22. So we're going to establish a recreation commission, and one of the reasons for this is, speaking with our grant writers, when you're applying for some of these grants for parks and things of that nature, one of the criteria is that you have a rec commission. We used to have one, it disbanded, but I'm fully on board, and I think the rest of the board agreed to let's put this thing back together. If you know anybody that's interested in applying for this, we're going to put it on the website.
Okay. I got one issue with this thing here. There's nothing on here that says it's an advisory board. the way that it's listed in here, that the power to equip, operate, and maintain playgrounds and rec centers shall be exercised by the Recreation Commission. That makes it seem like they're over top of the Recreation Department itself. Can we add in there that it's an advisory board and it is not actually overseeing the Recreation Department?
I have no problem with adding that.
I got something to add to that too, but last time we had it, for some reason, years ago, Recreation Committee got involved in interviewing people for help too. And like you said, I think it should just be an advisory board to the town board.
Yes.
And it's a voluntary position with no pay, and everybody has to know that up front. And they're not there to hire people, summer help and stuff like that. I think that was a little problem we had in the past.
So why don't we, the last whereas, the members of said commission shall serve without pay as an advisory board.
Beautiful.
That's all we have to do is add that. Diane, would you mind adding that, please? And that takes care of, I think, everything we wanted there. Number 23 is there's a fence that we're putting around the ballpark, Fenway Field at Westwood. Councilman Dickman, number 24.
It's just the PIP for Alderman for paving curbs and storm sewers and water lines.
And 25, this is to replace Rose Lane.
Correct?
And 26,
26 is a positive declaration on Stuffman Road subdivision that we're going to take to the town, the lead agency, going to take a closer look at some of the issues that
okay.
were brought up.
27 and 28 I'm very excited about. This was actually our director of finance noticed something in our bonding on that. We had numerous meetings for the last 5 weeks with our bond council. These two moves are going to allow us to save north of $300,000 in the next 5 years. It's basically restructuring our bonding, and great job by our director of finance doing this. Again, we've had numerous meetings with outside bond counsel to restructure this, and this gives us the ability to do this work. But that's a great savings, and very excited about something like this for us. And that's pretty much all the resolutions.
All right, I got something on the drainage committee. We met, Bob was here and Dave and that property on Pavement Road, had those 2 houses where they're
Yeah, I sent that memo, I was gonna bring it up, I sent that memo to the board about the 184, I forget the address, the actual number, but the pipe on the west side of pavement.
most of the permit.
Yeah,
Pavement Road?
pavement, yeah. Where the county was in the culvert and it was washing out.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Yep. So anyways, we went back, looked into it, there's an easement on the east side of the road, it's a town ditch. My recommendation was the town go ahead and pipe between these 2 properties, down the property line. But right now, the properties are subsiding. One guy's pool, sewage is lower on one side, the other driveways are, it's a pretty deep ditch. So.
Just as it right near Westwood, not across the street.
Just across the street,
Yeah,
yes.
just north of the entrance. So the recommendation was to put in pipe to carry it at least back past the developed part of their lots. I've worked with Danny on size and length of the materials and stuff.
Yeah, because if we wanted to do it, this is a good time of year to do it, because we're not having any snow. And I can call it in order to pipe and get it in. We gotta put a catch basin in there and run the pipe in there too. But if the board agrees on it, I'd like to get moving on it so I can call underground and get it done.
Absolutely.
How many feet of pipe was that?
50.
It was a 36-inch pipe?
Yeah.
And 36-inch pipe is about 36-inch pipe, about $23 a foot. So,
It's not an inexpensive task, but if we lose these people lose their properties, it'd be a lot more expensive.
and we did go in there one time. Louis brought his records out.
Yeah, he
from-
found it 19.
Brought his records out from 1980 something, that we were gonna go in there and clean the ditch, and they called the cops on us.
But what I want to make sure of it, and it isn't that town ditch, it's a town seat.
And we are updating the map. We are updating the ditches on the GIS system because we found the old maps. Ed's got some old maps. I got Louis' old maps from the county from the 40s or 30s that identify all the ditches, and we're gonna put all those ditches that are town ditches on the website. So we'll have the information on it. So we go in there and we know if we have to clean them, we'll clean them. We'll mark when we clean them too.
Were you able to get that drainage easement?
Well, the easement across the street exists.
No, but will we be able to get?
Yeah,
an easement
yeah, we'll get an
along the
easement on
property
the
line
easement.
and gain access to that pipe?
We'll take 10 feet either side of the property line.
No, we'll be able to get some as-built.
Yep, oh yeah, once it's
Where
in,
is all the elevations and
yeah, we can get inverts out of the BI, and then the open end on the west side.
operate your private cost.
So it doesn't run on the property, it goes
It
through
runs,
the property.
it runs down the property line. So
Okay,
we'll end up
okay.
taking, we'll probably, what I'll do is I'll have a 10-foot easement
Yeah.
on either side, so, you know, like have access for maintenance.
Yeah.
And the homeowners will be in favor of this?
You're the ones asking.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, oh, yeah, that's what started the open end.
You get a final cost on that then?
I'll give you a final cost on this, I'll work it up and catch it with a DI and all the pipe.
The zoning code redo is coming to an end, which means it's almost ready for public consumption, which means we're going to have a public hearing on this.
Okay.
It should not, but this is a board decision, it should not be, my recommendation, should not be on a Monday night for the board. It should be a separate standalone meeting, because you're going to get a ton of participation.
Sure.
So I'd like to get something locked in within the next 30 to 45 days.
Okay.
I'm just looking for input. I'll send out an email with, you know, some
Potential dates?
Potential dates.
Mhm.
And then we're going to have to work with, you know, the media to get it out there as much as possible, put out a press release, so we get as many people as possible, and any stakeholders, any residents. It should have at least one large public hearing on this thing, because it's a major undertaking.
Okay.
Can I put 2 cents in?
Yeah.
I'd rather, I think it would be important to have it earlier, I mean, sooner rather than later. I got a 2-month extension with general code, so that's being eaten up every day.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to have the resolution after the next meeting calling for it.
Okay.
So, end of March, early April, at the latest. Okay. So I'll send out a general email to the board, copying Diane, and if you just give me some feedback, because you probably want to be there. I talked to the assessor today, Rebecca, and just asked her for more information since the mailings were going on today. So I got these for anybody who wants them. I was gonna go over the first paragraph and maybe a few other sections. You know, we asked for committee reports.
Yes.
And just handle it at that point, but I just want to make sure I gave copies to the press here as well. Anybody who wants this, and if any of the people out there want
Or
it,
you getting one?
just to make sure they know what's going on, okay? And that it's, you know, this is, their assessment's coming out, there's an estimate on the taxes based on last year, but we don't want people freaking out and saying, you know, this is what it's gonna be, because we won't know until we do our budget. Okay, so I'm just gonna read a portion of that. They also put together a list of our houses, so we can all take a look and see how much our houses have gone up.
Fully transparent, 'cause we're the first ones that are gonna ask.
That's
about
it. So those are all right here. Anybody wants to take a look at that. The other thing is, what are we doing with Mr. Pizzone's seat?
So, we're 2-2, like we said. I think what we did with the zoning board, we'll talk to them, let them decide. Give them 2 names, whoever they come up with. I think that's the fairest way to do it, just like we did with zoning. You know, his seat was a technicality. He's been out 9 years. You know, it's so officially he's removed because of a technicality. He did fill out his oath card though, still wants it. So I think the fairest thing to do is let them decide who they want to put on there. And I'll put a resolution on next meeting, whoever they decide.
Okay, let me think about that. Just want to think about that a
Yeah,
little bit.
that's the same thing we did with the zoning board. There's nothing different. When we selected the chairman, we left it up to them. They came back with their solution. I put that resolution on to, or you put the resolution on to select the chairman that they selected. I think that's the fairest thing to do.
Definitely think about that. And again, we've already discussed Kevin. I mean, I think he'd be the, you know, appropriate person to be on there, Kevin Peterson. And again, you know, we go to the past, didn't we put the mayors on to the light board in the past?
Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't. But again, you're looking at a person that has 9 years' experience. We have the few businesses represented, so it's, you know, I'm covering pretty much the villages as well. Actually, I'm going out on call on Tuesday to a company that's looking, they're in Chickamauga now, they're looking to expand on Walter Winter Parkway. So that's gonna be a good thing for us if we get them in here. So there's activity there, that's my role here, that's all my role's gonna be, is to go out there to visit companies and let them know that we are open for them. We do want the businesses here. It's very important to bring commercial development here for our tax base, you know, and that's, the LIDA does support that and helps us out, bringing those businesses, bringing to the forefront. So as much as I can get in front of these people, I will.
You will also do an update.
And
on the
I'll,
water.
you know, really, as I said, I keep you guys involved with that too. So you know, last time I gave a report on the company I went out on Commerce Parkway. So it's just something like I said, we've got to continue to push this avenue and keep everybody updated, let you guys know what's going on, and hopefully we do. It's part of it is not just bringing business here, attracting business, but it's also retaining. You don't want to lose businesses either because of certain situations. So it's very important that we keep this up there. You said water?
Yeah.
Well, if you want an update on the water issue on the Pleasant View Stutzman area, I can report that we had met with the water authority. They're looking at their system, they're going to make some adjustments to see what the effect is in the countryside subdivision, which is the subdivision south of Pleasant View. And if they get the results they hope to get, then they can look at pushing that across Pleasant View.
And that's, I don't know if you've seen the letter I sent
Yeah,
out.
that's fine.
I sent a letter out to them, and they've been very responsive to things. So it is moving, and it's, it'd be great if we could correct a lot of the situations that we're having with some tweaks. You know, but it is getting attention. They did respond to my letter. I'm happy about that. And if we could, again, like I said, tweak the system where everybody's water pressure is.
We had about a 2-hour meeting. We went through a lot of pieces and parts.
Good. Yeah.
Great. The other thing I have real quick, the town was part of a grant for the county a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago now. It was for pedestrian safety. The town was doing something on their own, and the county ended up taking all the towns and villages and bowling together into one grant. The county got the grant. They're going ahead and implementing each of the town's pieces, and the piece for Lancaster happened to do with Heritage Trail Crossing, Cemetery, pavement in Ransom. And it's just improving the markings and just making it more visible. Initially, we were looking for flashing signs, but they didn't go for that. So they've got some information. I gave it to Diane for the website. They'd like to mention that meeting just so that it's out there. And I can report back and said that we've met the public notification process and it's forward with the project. So yeah, I needed to do that in the meeting or even something. I've got a handout for everyone here so everybody knows what the project is. If the papers want one, they can.
Sure do. I don't have one.
No.
It was in the clearance fee last week.
It's nothing earth shattering, but it was, the county stuff, there's some grant there. So no cost to the town, doing the work. And because of all county roads.
Right, okay, good.
You know, and speaking of the county, they told us they're gonna pave, I think, Ransom Road this year. And they're gonna do some paving in the village on Aurora Street. They're gonna put some drainage in on Aurora Street, the village portion of Aurora Street. They're gonna pave that, but
Down by the school.
that's all they get. No, just past Cone Park Boulevard.
Okay.
But other than that, that's all they got started for Lancaster right now.
And William Street.
William Street is supposedly going to start design, hopefully have design done by 23, and then hopefully put out the bid by 25. We'll see.
They must use federal funds for that.
Yeah.
The other thing I'll mention is, I'll do it out there as well, I'll do that here, is monthly I have direct report meetings, and I bring in a guest speaker each time. We actually moved up the grant team to come in today because after talking to them a couple weeks ago, there's kind of a cutoff for grants. When you're looking for a grant, you're usually looking out 18 months down the road because of the process of that. And the cutoff really was May 2nd for a lot of the grants that's coming in. So we had a couple of representatives come from the company. I guess they spoke to the direct reports. And what we've come up with is, what I thought was really good, is to have every department come up with a list for the grant writers to review their wish list. You know, will they fall into this category, in that category? We already have some people that submitted the list already. So my goal is to go after everything we can. If we're not taking a shot at those things, it's money. Again, the money's out there. It's earmarked for something. Our role as you know, myself as supervisor and my direct reports, our role is to obtain as much of these funds as possible for our community. And you know, so that's part of it, getting through the grant process and doing it properly. So it's, like I said, I think everybody's impressed with what we have so far with them. They have a whole team. They you know, it's not just a grant writer, but you're getting people that do some research on these things. They know about, you know, the ins and outs of things and what the points are, varying the points and what you're getting. That's one of the reasons why I said we're going to establish a recreation commission, because it gets us points for grants. And you know, these are the things that we really have to pay attention to, do our due diligence, and make sure we give ourselves Lancaster, the town of Lancaster, which incorporates the village of Lancaster, gives us the best opportunity to bring that money home here to us.
What are we gonna do about Matt's vacancies in his department?
So,
Can we discuss that in executive session, or?
No, we can discuss it now, and I'm pretty open with it. It's just, you know, I talked to Matt, and Matt, you're gonna get I looked up, did some research on this. There is what we don't want to happen is, the person that he selected may not qualify to take the test. But there's a way to go, not go around it, but set yourself up properly. There's a form called Appeal 8, I believe it is. Fill the form out, send it in. The county will tell you whether he qualifies or not to take the test. Once we get clearance on that, then boom. But what you don't want to happen, and for the sake of the person too, you don't want to hire the person and 2 weeks later you have to let him go because the county says he doesn't qualify to take the test. And I think that this should be part of our process. You know, it's different when you're hiring off a list. The list is created already. The people have taken the test, they've scored. It's a whole different thing. In his defense, and this was a couple things that we did talk about, he did not get a lot of applicants. I talked to Matt about going through Indeed. He's getting tons of applicants now, but some of them are not, you know, proper residents. But you shouldn't shy away from that either, because that's how I found my director of finance, and she currently is building a house in Lancaster. So it's, you know, if this person's a perfect fit for the job, you say, hey, look, we might be able to take you on, but there's a residency requirement. We need you to move. Yes or no? The answer would be, and then, you know, if yes, they fit, they're going to move. They got 6 months. Away we go. If they say no, we move on to the next. So I think this avenue kind of gives you, hopefully by the next 2 weeks we get all the answers, but this avenue gives you another, you know, you could have this person that you feel would work for you with the PO 8, hopefully have an answer soon on that. That form is in our office to you today.
Today?
Yes.
Okay.
So you should get that tomorrow. You can fill it out, get it right to the
I
county.
will do that first thing in the
Yep.
morning for this individual, because as of today, he's unemployed. He put his 2 weeks in, and I wasn't aware of the scrutiny that I was going to receive in selecting a person in my own department after going through that process. And, you know, really, if we're going to amend the hiring process within the town, I really think we should get ahead of it rather than have to deal with something like this, because we knew this position was vacant in the middle of December. And we knew we had to fill it rather quickly. And the recommendation for Indeed was an excellent one. I love the site. It was very informative. It's a great tool, but, you know, to have that suggested after I've made the recommendation, after the guy puts in his 2 weeks notice.
Well, and then they said,
I followed the minimum standard
the
hiring requirements.
thing we were going to face was he may have been told he can't have the job anymore.
Well, I read that
After 2 weeks.
differently, and that's why I interviewed him, because he had work experience, he had public contact experience.
But the county may disagree with that.
I don't know.
The
That's why
county-
first thing in the morning, I'd be
it's-
happy to.
It's not the town that makes the
Yep.
decision here, it's the
I-
county.
Absolutely.
And the county
That's
would
why
sit
it's his
there,
to lose.
yes, the
It's
county
his
would sit
job
there
to
and
lose,
say,
just like any
you made a
employee.
bad hire, you gotta let them go.
Right.
And that's what we do. You know, so we don't want to put ourselves in that position.
You know, even hiring off a list, you know, I mean, if the guy doesn't fit, he doesn't fit, but a provisional hire, that safeguard is there so that if he scores well on the test, he
But
can keep the job. But if
In
he
this
doesn't, they're
position
gone.
here, they may not even let him take the test.
I understand,
That's
and that's
the-
why
that's the
I'll
problem.
jump on that immediately and do
once
my
it's-
best for that. And then, as I said, you know, in our conversations, the other applicants, I'm going to recommend for that second position. This department is seriously understaffed, ridiculously understaffed. That third code official is going to help with field work, but the other zoning clerk is going to do the required work that's done within the office as mandated by the state. The 1203 is very clear in what we have to do in providing services to our town. And the way the department is set up right now, it's not even close. We're underserving our community. And that's why I've done what I've done. I mean, I hate to add staff, I hate adding more, costs onto the tax base, but these are required standards that we have to meet. These are minimum standards, and when we don't meet minimum standards, I tell every contractor the same thing. You don't meet that bar, it's substandard.
Yeah, I don't envision this taking that much time now. I would follow that form up with some
Absolutely.
calls and beyond that.
Yep, I'll be on that.
And hopefully by next meeting, either you have another applicant or
You'll
you
see
have the
something
approval.
sooner than later.
Yeah, so, yeah,
Okay, so we'll take care of this before.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, as I said, I
We're
know
gonna
it's
get
wrong, that's
As
not,
we talked before,
it's not
about
the
that
point.
role about,
We want to get somebody in there, but we want the proper person.
Yep.
I hate to have
And I will do the work that it takes to get the right people.
That paperwork goes to the county, they're gonna come back and say, he's not qualified, he won't even call him to the test, you gotta let him go. He could be on the job for 2 weeks and he's gone. It doesn't do the person any justice either. So I'd rather have the county sit there and say, he qualifies to take the test. I don't know when the test is offered, did you check?
Well, it's going to be a provisional hire. The current list expires in November of this year. So once that is expired, we can call for a list.
Okay,
And that would create
Open up the
another
test.
round for the next 3 to 4 years
Yeah, so there
for
you
other
go.
municipalities to hire from. And that's what I had waited on for the code official's position because it's that important.
yeah, there was something about 3 years' experience in that clinical position for that. So I don't know what they're gonna deem this as.
So in the 2 minutes that we do have left, I
Yes.
mean, if the board doesn't want the statistics, I'll stop giving them to you, but I did submit the MS4 report for February. We did have year-to-date 10 total complaints for drainage, which I'm very happy for the first 2 months. 2 were MS4 violations, where there were specific stormwater issues that we had to cite. The total complaints for the year, this is pretty sad, was 183 for 2020. It's January and February. In February alone, we logged in 70 complaints. And again, unfortunately, we were only able to do 5 fire safety and property maintenance inspections for a 13 year-to-date total. I want to thank the 2 individuals that approved the floodplain management certification training at the end of March here. I'd like to see something a little bit more formal so that it can get submitted. It is a limited registration.
I think they're paying for everything for you too.
Oh yeah, it's a free,
Yeah,
it's a free
it's a
thing.
no-brainer.
And it
I mean, the
helps me
hotel and
maintain
everything.
those certified credits that I need to
Yeah.
maintain,
But
right?
the hotel, we paid for
Terry
everything,
approved
food,
it.
hotel.
Terry approved it, I approved it too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
The zombie task force meeting was held on February 11th. We had roundtables, we had a lot of good discussion, and the next meeting will flesh out some of those individual committee topics that we spoke about. And I can give you further information if you need it. We did receive 3 volumes of the new code books. The new code is going to become effective May 12th. There is going to be no transition period, so anything issued on the 11th will apply to the 2015 code. May 12th, the 2020 code kicks in. So it will be available online. We do have hard volumes, and we have electronic copies on it as well. And if I can get some type of a formal or a verbal approval for the 15th LE Court, I need to advance that enforcement action. I don't think we want to bring them in here for a hearing to demolish the building because it's not that bad, but we still need to hold that hearing so that we can hire a contractor to repair the roof, the gutter system. There's some foundational issues that need to be addressed. So if I can get something from the board in writing that could authorize me to move forward with that, I'll take that action quickly.
so why don't you send an email to us like you normally do?
But
Seeking approval?
the letter that I had sent, I think it was 2 meeting cycles ago, I'll just copy that letter.
Yeah,
in the
just
email.
ask for
I'll get it to you guys,
approval.
and Move forward with that property and get it over with.
Michelle?
I just
Thank you.
request one thing with the rec commission.
Yeah.
We do more than advertise on the website, maybe do it in the Bee and the Sun also, because last time we did the rec commission on the website, we didn't get anybody. So I'd like to try to advertise that.
Yeah.
further.
And
That's
word of
all.
mouth too, for something like this. You know, people that are interested in our community, it's a great commission to be on. It has to do with our, you know, parks and recreation and all that.
Okay.
All right?